Hello everyone, I'll be explaining Software Process and Project Management subject. Unit 1, Software Process Maturity, Process Reference Model. These are the topics that we will be covering. First, let us understand what is software process. So, software process is nothing but a set of activities or set of programs which is required to maintain the software and to develop it. To develop the software and also to maintain it. What is software process model? Let us understand this through this diagram. So, in this diagram we have three parts: definition phase, development phase, implementation phase. First phase is definition phase. What happens in definition phase is whatever the problem is there, that we have to understand and also we plan here. This is the phase where we define and understand what customer wants. What we do here is we gather all the requirements, we analyze our requirements. So basically what we do is we collect all our requirements and analyze, and they are all clearly defined. Next, development phase. What happens in development phase is whatever the problem is given, we provide solution to that by writing code. So basically in this phase what we do is we write code of that program. Next is implementation phase. What happens in implementation phase is whatever the code is written, we run, we integrate, we perform all those testings, and also we check whether the user is properly, whether it is user friendly or not. Next is process maturity levels, CMM, which means capability maturity level. So what happens in this? There are multiple levels. In process maturity level, it represents how well organization software development process is defined, managed, measured and improved. What they show is the project from immature level to mature level. So first what we have is level 1, that is the initial level. Here this focuses on defining formal procedure. Whatever the project is there, whatever program is written, it focuses on that. Process is unpredictable, chaotic and poorly controlled. What happens here is project is managed, project needs to be managed here. Next, management oversight. Whatever management is done here, that needs to be checked again. Quality must be checked. That is what mean by quality assurance. Next is change control. Whatever changes are doing in that project, that has to be controlled and also monitored properly. Next comes level 2. Level 2 means, level 2 says repeatable process. What does we mean by repeatable process? Means in simple terms, whatever projects are made earlier, that is repeated. Whatever planning, tracking and requirement are done, that is repeated again. Next comes defined. Defined process level enables organization to achieve major and continuous progress. Whatever we did till now in this process, what we do is continuously we start progressing. That is, a software team can be used to define the process. Here what we do is basic purpose is to verify whether the software process and improve it. Cost and quality must be identified of the process measurement. Whatever the cost is there, that has to be identified, and quality is also measured and monitored. Next is whatever the resources that we need, that has to be gathered and also managed. Not only gathered but also we have to manage them. Next is whatever data is processed, that should be maintained. Quality has to be maintained and checked, and all this process must be standardized. Next comes level 4, managed. What happens in managed is managed process focuses on making considerable essential software quality improvements. So whatever we did till now, from here we will manage all those with small improvements. Next comes optimization. So whatever we did till here, till managing, the project is completed. But now what we are doing is optimizing. Optimizing basically means reducing the resources, but also we want that project to work perfectly. So what we can do here is, if the speed can be increased, then we increase the speed. If the storage can be reduced, then we reduce the storage. Next, the uses. What are the uses of this Sppm level model? Is defect prevention. When we apply all these levels, whatever defects are there, that will be gone or removed. And technology improvements. When we apply all these levels, we will be using new technologies, so it will be improved. Technology will be improved. And high level automation. We will automate all these things. Next is principles. Next is principles of software process. What are the principles of software process? Let's see that. First is changes pertaining to software process must be developed from top. So these are the side headings. Remember the side headings and write anything there. Anything in the sense, whatever you understand, write those. Changes pertaining to software process. So whatever the changes we are doing, that has to be done from the top. And what we have to do here is understand whatever the goals we have. We have to monitor the progress and also analyze our performance. Next comes involve every software professional. So when we are working in a project, there will be a team, right? And every person should get involved into that, so that they will also have knowledge about this project. Next, changes can be done efficiently. So when your goal is clear, you can also make changes efficiently. Changes must be continuous, and it's not that you'll be changing only once. The changes must be done repeatedly, again and again, whenever you see any problem. Next, changes about software process can be retained with continuous effort. So once changes is done, that will not be retained if you do not put continuous efforts onto that. Next is improvement in software process needs huge investment. So yes, whenever you need to improve it, it needs huge investment. Next is misconceptions about software process. What are the misconceptions that we have about the software process? So what they think, that begin with analyzing the firm requirement. We do not begin with analyzing the requirement. If test is performed, then it is okay. No, it is not okay if tests are performed, because there will be many bugs that cannot be gone by testing. Quality of software can't be measured. So quality of software can be measured through how scalable it is, how software problems are technical. No, there will be other problems as well in the software. Involve better people. Managing software is a different process. So these are the misconceptions about the software process. Next is software process assessment. Software process assessment. So let us understand what is mean by assessment. Assessment means just checking the strength or weakness of current process. What we do here is we have to identify where our team stands. Identify what needs improvement. So assessment means where our team stands, and we have to identify where we need improvement. And for this we use CMM, CMMI, PSP, TSP models. We have learned CMM just before. Principles. Now principles for this are: identify the process model needed for performing the assessment. So before performing this assessment, you have to identify which process model is used or which process model is needed. Recognize the requirement with strict confidentiality. So whatever the requirements we need, that has to be recognized, that has to be known. Involve highly experienced senior manager. So to assess any project, you have to involve any senior people, so that they will use their experience and tell whatever the faults are there in the project. Next, respect the view of people working in organization with open-minded. So whoever are working in that team, we need to respect them, so that their views can also be affected. Concentrate on actions. Next is initial process. Initial process. Staff included in this group are well-intent and competent people. In initial process, whatever the people that are included, they have to be intentioned and competent people, and they must be senior management because they will have some responsibilities and also experience in all this. What are the basic tasks that has to be performed at the initial level are planning. We have to plan the project and everything. Cost estimation, whatever the cost that will be needed in completing the project, and whatever the resources that will be using, the cost of that resources as well. Project scheduling, performance tracking, whether the project is completed or not, or when it will be completed, and all these things should be tracked. Change control, whatever changes are done, that also has to be monitored so that we will know where and which change has been occurred. Commitment management, quality assurance, quality should be checked and monitored. Next is the repeatable process. So repeatable process means if it allows a set of actions to be performed for making software efficient while minimizing variations in development and limiting unwanted resource utilization. So if you don't understand this, leave it. I'll explain you in simple terms. Repeatable process means a process that can be repeated, which means that I'll tell you example. For example, in C program, what we do is we write functions, right? We write those code of function, that block of code once, and repeat it again and again whenever we want in the program. So here also same thing applies. We just make process once, and that can be used again and again in our project. Next is what it says Next is scheduling. Project scheduling is determined based on resources that are encountered over planned product development phase. So based on the resources and whatever we are doing, the project must be scheduled. Next is project tracking. Project must be tracked so that we can focus on our goal and also check when that will be accomplished. Next is SQA, software quality assurance. Software quality assurance assures that the quality of the software is met or not, all the requirements are met or not. So what are the things that happens here is logic error, runtime error, syntax error. Logical errors means anything divided by 0 gives error, so that is the example of logic error. Runtime error, whenever you are running the program, if any error occurs, that is a runtime error. Syntax error means if you forget to close the brackets or any terminator, or you forget any terminator and all, then you'll get syntax errors. Next is the defined process. Testing strategy. So there are different testing strategies used here. First is white box testing. White box testing means testing the internal logic of the program. So we are testing the logic of the code, and if someone wants to do white box testing, they must have knowledge about the code, about the program which is written there. Next is black box testing. Black box testing doesn't need any knowledge about the code. It is about the function or the behavior of the program. So it identifies inaccurate functions, interface errors, performance errors, data structure errors, initialization and termination errors. Next comes top-down testing. In simple terms, it means testing from the top. Bottom-up testing means testing begins at the lowest levels, which means that first we will be doing unit testing, then we will be doing integration testing, and all those things will come. Next is 3 models on which software processes are defined. So there are 3 models: UAW. U also called as U process model is also called as spiral model. What happens here? Development of efficient software process. So efficient software process is developed here. What A means atomic level process. Automatic, the process will be occurred in this model. Next is worldly process model. What happens here? Defines sequence of tasks line by line. The tasks are defined here. Next is Critical software issues. What are the issues that can be faced in the software are quality. So quality has to be checked and monitored, or else we will be facing so many issues. Next is product technology. Whatever technology that we are using, if the technology is outdated, then it can also give some errors. Instability of requirement. If requirements are unknown, okay, if we don't know requirements, there can be any problem, or unstable requirements, or misunderstanding in some requirements, and also the complexity of the project. Next comes the managed process, data gathering and analysis. What is data gathering and analysis? In simple terms, means we have to gather the data and also analyze it for a software, to improve a software. That's it. So what are the principles of data gathering? Means based on desired objectives and plans, we have to gather the data. So whatever is required, we have to gather data based on that. Type of data gathering depends on the model as well. Whatever model that we are using, on that also data is dependent. It affects the data gathered from entire organization. So if you affect the data gathered from entire organization, so if you gather data from any organization, it also affects the whole organization. Next, provides management support. What are the objectives here are understanding, evaluation, control and prediction. Next comes, what are the problems that we can face here is inaccurate data. The data may be wrong, there may be some errors or some mistakes, delay in data, we don't get data in the same time that we want, improper measuring, we don't measure properly, we might have failed to measure the data properly, then this problem can occur. Next, huge amount of data. When there is huge amount of data, there will be high risk, because it is difficult to manage and handle the huge amount of data. Next comes unavailability of required data. Whatever that is required is not available, can also be a problem. Next comes CMM, CMMI, PCMM, PSP, TSP. So we have learned CMM already before. Now we will be learning CMMI. So what is CMMI? Is capability, maturity, model, integration. So first we learned CMMI, right? CMM, right? Now CMMI is the advanced version of that CMM. What happens here is we integrate process across development, services, acquisition, and also focus on improvement. So here we have levels from 0 to 5. There we had levels from 1. So what happens at level 0 is, this is the incomplete level where the process, the target is not achieved yet. The target is not achieved yet. Next is level 1, performed. What happens here is the tasks are given to achieve the target. Next is level 2, manage. What happens here, whatever task that we are giving in the level 1, that has to be managed here. Level 3 is defined. What happens here is whatever the need of the project is, that is defined here. Level 4, quantitatively managed. What happens here is the quality is measured and checked, and accuracy of the project is checked here. Performance is also monitored here. Next is optimized. What happens in optimize is same whatever we did in all these areas. Here we are optimizing it, means reducing the cost, trying to reduce the cost, and all those things happens here. Next is PCMM. PCMM means people capability maturity model, which says focuses on improving people related process. So whatever process that are related to the people, that are improved here. First is hiring, training, motivation and teamwork. If you don't have any motivation, you will not work, you will not study. If there is no teamwork, then obviously it will be difficult to work. Next, also there must be people, right, to work at least. So we do hiring, and also we have to train them so that they can get the proper knowledge and also work on that. Next is PSP and TSP, personal software process, TSP is team software process. What happens in personal software processes, single individual does everything, and also single individual has to improve everything, time management, quality, defect control, everything. But what happens in team software process, the teams, there will be teams, and they'll plan all the work, the roles will be assigned, and also it will improve the productivity. So this was all about the unit 1 in Sppm. If you want other units, please comment below, and if you like my explanation, then also please comment below. Bye bye, thank you, see you in the next video.